As the David Bowie song goes, turn to the left, turn to the right, fashion. Today's designers are making fashion statements and cultural statements. With me is Forrest Bell from the Stevenson University School of Design, Fashion, and Culture. Welcome.
Thank you very much for having me.
And I really am welcoming you because you've only been in the area now since August.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about your background quickly and what brought you to Stevenson.
My background, I started off being trained in high-end evening wear and then fell into lingerie and high-end sportswear. And I've been in education for the past 10 years. So fashion and education have just kind of blended together for me very well. And Stevenson had an opportunity for a chair and we mashed up.
And here you are. Okay,
Yeah.
So let's talk about this issue of fashion and culture and how the two intersect. Does
Okay.
fashion influence culture first, is the first question?
Ooh, I would have to say it actually is going to go the other way around.
Okay.
Culture influences fashion, and it works on a bell curve. So we start off by having influencers decide how things are going to be built up. So whether it's fringe culture or trend forecasters, or it could be almost anyone that has this idea that then sparks something. So right now, what really sparks trends and what really sparks fashion is going to be celebrities. Celebrity culture, especially with the social media influences and the instantaneous aspect of fashion.
So that's even a stronger influence now than it used to be.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. So, you know, you have Rihanna who throws on a coat one day and then all of a sudden it's selling out in stores.
Right.
So there is that process that happens, and that is how culture, being the arts, will influence fashion. So celebrities and pop culture influences fashion and the trends that happen in the marketplace very quickly now.
Let's talk about the first ladies. How strong has their influence been on fashion? I mean, I guess it depends on the first lady, but do you see any
Absolutely.
changes in that?
I would have to say, I believe in the Obama administration, there was a lot of influence from the First Lady as far as where fashion led to trends and movement in the fashion industry from the White House.
Yeah.
I have not seen it as much in the current administration.
Okay, all right. So let's talk a little bit about what you're doing then at Stevenson University and the programs you have there and what the students, the kind of work they're doing.
Well, currently at Stevenson, we have a Bachelor's of Science degree in fashion design and fashion merchandising. They're two separate degrees where students have the opportunity to learn the ins and outs of the fashion industry. There are two degrees that are in one program, so we actually work through the entire process of fashion merchandising and fashion design and how they work in the industry together. With that being said, the fashion designers have the opportunity to show work at New York Fashion Week. They also have the opportunity to show at our end-of-year fashion show, and amazing opportunities. And then the merchandising students also have an opportunity to stretch their merchandising skills at Boscov's, where we do trend events. And then they also support and work at the New York Fashion Week shows, as well as the end-of-year fashion show that we host.
Okay, and then so I got to ask you, you know, the whole fashion industry was portrayed in The Devil Wears Prada. How accurate is that? Because are you lining your students up for a tough world out there?
Well, it's always a tough world. The fashion industry is very competitive. However, there is a human side to the fashion industry, and currently with the trend of crafting coming back in and the idea of things being handcrafted and socially conscious about where your things come from, having that awareness, that really does lead into the human factor. So while The Devil Wears Prada was a great influence as far as kind of what could happen, there's definitely more of a human side to it.
Okay, and so and as you're saying, culture affects fashion, this whole trend towards being more aware of the environment and all of that is obviously playing a role then.
Absolutely. Sustainability is key, and it's one of the things that we at Stevenson use as kind of a pivotal point in everything that we teach.
Well, yeah, I've learned a lot in this very quick interview. A lot more to be learned at Stevenson University with the great program there. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Best wishes to you.
Thank you very much.
All right. I'm Carolyn Blacksett here, and this is Smarts, the Baltimore County Arts and Culture Show.